I'm joined by a Kenora fighter here who just came back from a fight in Lethbridge, Alberta for the Rumble in the Cage promotion, 61. I'm joined by Kenora's very own Jesse Bongfield. How are you doing today, sir?
Very good, Jake. Hope your day's going good, buddy.
It's going really well. You're here in the studio. We're here to chat about the fights that happened in Lethbridge. As we know, you fought in the UFC a couple of times, and it's been a bit of a hiatus for you. How long has it been between your last fight and this fight that just happened in Lethbridge?
I hadn't actually kept track, but they're telling me it's been 7 years.
Wow, so 7 years out of the octagon. And first, I just want to ask you, what was going through your mind when you kind of found out that you're going to have this fight?
I was excited. I knew I needed to do this for myself. I had really no excuses as far as fitness went and where my mind was at and the way things were running at the gym. The time I took off was mostly due to building up my fight team. So all those boys know what they're doing now, and they're pushing me to my limits. So I have the type of competition that I need locally to be able to perform at my highest level. The business is running smooth at United Fighter. I'm full-time there now. So I'm able to train the amount that I need in order to compete at the highest level. So with all those things said and done, I figured it was about time to get back in there and get moving. I don't have a lot of time left, so.
So first fight in 7 years, it was with Rumble in the Cage. It was a promotion in Lethbridge, or the Alberta area. Their 61st pay-per-view. What was it like to get back into the octagon with the person that you were facing against? I heard you were in the main event as well.
Yeah, I was excited to test myself. I was also excited to be on my manager's promotion. I wanted to make sure that my first fight back was on Lee Mean's card. Rumble in the Cage is the longest running mixed martial arts organization in Canada now. And they run a smooth operation, so I knew it'd be relatively stress-free. And as far as my opponent went, I had been scheduled to fight him before in November, so I had a good roadmap and a game plan as far as his strong points and his weak points, as well as my own and how they matched up. And I had some goals. I like to try to beat the opponent at their game a lot of the time, which isn't always the traditional tactic. But when you can beat a wrestler at his own game, or a jiu-jitsu guy at his own game, or a striker at his own game, I think it elevates your own game. So it makes you better in the long run. And it also makes a good statement.
So, Rumble in the Cage 61, you're in the main event. Let us know how the outcome was. It was a good one, right?
It was. I had worked a few specific things. A lot of my wrestling was ground down on me. My boys pushed me hard. My submission defense was on point because these guys, they were catching me in the gym and pushing me hard. So those two tools came in extremely handy. But one thing that I really worked on a lot in this camp was my left hand. And I knew that if I caught him with that, he would go to sleep. So I was able to catch him, put him to sleep, and had time for one more just for good measure. And then the ref stepped in and I stepped back. And it's kind of a walk-away knockout.
So your first time in the cage in 7 years, you got a TKO win. When it was all said and done, what did it mean to you to have all of your wrestling friends, all of your fighter friends with you in Lethbridge? What did it mean, everyone together? Like, what was going through your mind after everything was done, after that victory?
Yeah, my perspective after the fight was definitely different than the one before the fight. I try to keep cool, keep calm, think about what I need to do, keep my energy level under control before the fight. Post-fight, it's a little different. You get a little worked up, you're excited. All these realities kick in, realizations. Definitely some satisfaction in all the hard work being culminating in victory, I should say. So, you know, having my boys there with me, knowing that everybody back home was watching, having my dad with me, knowing that my son was back home watching, those types of things, they're really gratifying. But all said and done, all that stuff is nice, but really, for me, it's about the victory. I could go without all that if I had to, and the paycheck is nice.
So, after Rumble in the Cage 61, what's next for Jesse Bongfield?
I have a grappling tournament in Minneapolis that I want to go to, Grappling Industries. I'm looking to just stay busy with competition against higher level opponents that I know nothing about. Forces me to be a little more responsive, reactive, adaptive, those types of things keep me sharp in between bouts. And then I'm looking to go through the middleweight division and work my way up progressively and become more experienced again, because at this point, having been gone for so long, it's almost like starting fresh. So, work my way up.
So does this mean we could see Jesse Bongfield back in the UFC one of these days, or?
You never know. I mean, fighting solves everything. So, if I keep winning, then that's how it works.
Alrighty, well, Jesse Water Bongfield, his nickname in the ring, thanks so much for joining me this afternoon.
Thank you very much, Jake.
Okay.